Hello everyone, I'm Shikha. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another interesting video and of course the informative as well. In this video, I'll talk about some periodicals, journals and magazines which are really important for you to know if you are preparing for upcoming NET exam. But before beginning with the lecture, here's one advice for you people that you should either take the screenshot of the notes that I'm gonna provide or you must jot down these points because they are truly very important. So let's begin with the lecture. Here is first magazine, which is Macmillan's magazine, which appeared in 1859, and this magazine was published by Alexander Macmillan's. So it was a monthly British magazine, which means it used to publish once in a month. And the editor and the contributor of this magazine was David Mason. So this information is really very important, the editor and contributor of this magazine, because it has been asked once in a NET exam. Next we have is the Tatler, which appeared in 1709, and it appeared like for 2 years from 1709 to 1711. It was founded by Richard Steele and he used to write under the pseudonym of Isaac Bickerstaff. And this periodical published thrice a week, like especially on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. It contains 271 number of issues in total, and Steele had written majority of the essays, where he had written around 188 number of issues and other 42 had been written by Edison, and the rest of the issues had been written collaboratively by both of them. The Richard Steele and Edison, they both claim that the aim of this periodical was to expose the false art of life, to pull off the disguises of cunning, vanity, and affectation, and to recommend a general simplicity in our dress, our discourse, and our behavior. So it was the aim of the periodical that both Richard Steele and Edison talk about. Basically, the primary concern of this periodical was to instruct the people through witty humor or various entertainments or other sort of things. Like, they just wanted to instruct the people and they just wanted to refine the society. Before moving on to the next slide, please pause the video for once and revise all these points that I've mentioned till now, because these are really very important and had been asked repeatedly in NET exam. So done. Yeah, now let's solve some previous year questions which had been asked related to this topic that we have just discussed. So the first question we have is the periodical was started in 1709 with a motive to expose the false art of life, to pull the disguise of cunning, vanity and affectation, and to recommend a general simplicity in our dress, our discourse and our behavior. The founder of periodical wrote under the pseudonym of Isaac Bickerstaff. The periodical described above is, you know very well, the Tatler. The next question we have is, okay, the Tatler appeared thrice a week, that I told you, which was on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. Yeah, the first one is the right answer. The next question we have is, who edited the Tatler? So the answer is D, Edison and Steele, because we know Steele was the founder of the Tatler and Edison contributed some issues in it. So the answer is D. Let's move to the next question. The next question is, how often did Richard Steele's The Tatler appear every week, and how many issues of The Tatler in total were published? So the answer is C, 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. And how many issues were there? I told you 271, where Steele had written around 188 and Edison had contributed around 42. So the answer is C. So these were some of the previous year questions that had been asked from this particular periodical. Now let's move to another important periodical, which is the Spectator. It appeared for 3 years continuously from 1711 to 14, and it was founded by both Edison and Steele, and they used to publish it for like 6 days a week. It contained over 555 papers, where the famous series of essays The Pleasure of Imagination by Edison was also published. So, like the Tatler, the Spectator had also some aim, which was, they claim, the Steele and Edison, or either one of them, they say that to enliven mortality with wit and to temper wit with mortality. He further said, "It was said of Socrates that he brought philosophy down from heaven and to inhabit among men. And I shall be ambitious to have it said of me that I have brought philosophy out of the closets and libraries, schools, and colleges to dwell in clubs and assemblies, at tea tables and coffee houses." So you see, it also aimed to instruct people, but unlike the Tatler, it was more of a formal periodical. They used to instruct people in more of a formal way. They didn't use any witty humor or other entertainments like the Tatler used to use. So the Spectator was kind of a different in that way, but both of their aim was to instruct the people or to refine the society. So let's move to some previous year questions, or if you want to pause the video, please just pause it once and revise all these points that I have just mentioned. Now let's move to some previous year questions. So the first one is, in the summer of 1712, the Spectator published a series of essays on the pleasure of imagination, written by, so I just told you the pleasure of imagination, it was a series of essay which was written by Joseph Edison, and it was published in 1712. So the answer is D. The next question we have is, this periodical had the avowed intention to enliven mortality with wit and to temper wit with mortality, to bring philosophy out of the closets and libraries, schools, and colleges, to dwell in clubs and assemblies, at tea tables and coffee houses. It also promoted family, marriage, and courtesy. So the periodical is, you know the answer, the Spectator. These 2 points, the aim of the Tatler and the Spectator, please don't mix these points up. They are really very important. Just simply understand the difference. They both used to instruct the people, but in different ways. Like the Tatler used to instruct the people through some source of entertainment, like poetry and other sorts of entertainment. But the Spectator used to instruct the people in more of a formal or serious way. They used to use philosophy in order to instruct the mankind. So अगर philosophy के थ्रू भी याद रखोगे तो डिफरेंस याद रह जाएगा कि Spectator का एम philosophy के थ्रू लोगों को समझाना था सीरियस वे में, बट Tatler का एम लोगों को एंटरटेनमेंट के थ्रू समझाना था. So I guess you understood the difference. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, who of the following is not a periodical essayist? Here we have 4 options, and let's remove those options first which we know can't be the right one. Jonathan Swift, we don't know anything about Jonathan Swift right now. The next is Joseph Edison, Richard Steele. We know that these 2 options can't be the correct option, because Joseph Steele, Edison and Richard Steele, we have just read, they definitely were the periodical essayists. Now we are left with the 2 options, Jonathan Swift and Lancelot Andrewes. So Jonathan Swift was also a periodical essayist. released, he definitely had written some essays, periodical essays that I'm telling you right now. So the answer is Lancelot Andrews. Till now we are done with two periodicals and one magazine. Let's move to the next one, The Guardian. It was kind of a newspaper which was founded by Richard Steele, and there were many writers who contributed in the newspapers. Those were Joseph Edison, Thomas Tickell, Alexander Pope, and Ambrose Phillips. Next we have is The Gentleman's Magazine, which appeared in 1731 and was founded by Edward Cave. The important thing about this magazine is the word magazine itself first appeared in this Gentleman's Magazine, which was taken from the French language, which literally means the storehouse. And Samuel Johnson was the regular contributor in the magazine. So that's it for this magazine. Now let's move to another one. The next we have is The London Magazine. It appeared in 1732 for over 3 centuries, like 300 years, and it published the works of William Wordsworth, William S. Burroughs, and John Keats. So that's it for this magazine. This is not much important. Let's move to the next one. This is important. It's the Rambler. It was a periodical which appeared for over 2 years, from 1750 to 1752. It was founded by Samuel Johnson, and it published over 208 articles. And the last point is it published for twice a week, like on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Please just keep this a point in your mind. Let's move to some previous year questions now. The first one we have is, identify the correct chronological sequence of the founding of the following 18th century English periodicals. So here we have 4 options: Tatler, Spectator, The Gentleman's Magazine, The Rambler. Okay, we have to arrange them chronologically. Now what's the order? The Tatler was published in 1709, the Spectator published in 1711, the Gentleman's Magazine published 1731, the Rambler published in 1752. So according to that, the first one is the right option. Let's move to the second question. The second question is, match the periodicals with their respective writers or contributors. So on the left side we have periodicals, and on the right side we have contributors. So the Rambler, Rambler was founded by Samuel Johnson. Macmillan's magazine, that I told you in my very first slide, it was founded by Alexander Macmillan, but the editor was David Mason. Okay, now let's come to The Guardian. The Guardian was founded by Richard Steele, and the fourth one which we left with Charles Dickens. So we can match the fourth one with the Charles Dickens. So according to that, the option is C. So the third, C is the correct option. So that's it for this video. We'll meet in the next one with more magazines and periodicals. Bye bye till then, and have a great day. And please don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the like button if you loved my lectures.